Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Missing Manual. I'm Julia. This is Ellis, and we've got JCK here. And if you're joining us, we are in the middle of a multi-video series where we are sharing a little bit of our mess around creating this podcast and the work that it takes to bring it to life, which is not just recording and it looks perfect, but editing and creating thumbnails and content and uploads. And we've been working with Claude to help us. So just the TLDR is that we created a grounding document. We put our voice documents together. We've now fully documented the manual processes that we go through to bring the missing manual to life. And now we are about to start kind of building what comes next. And we've got a couple questions. So we had just, we're trying to figure out, we have the process documented and how do we move forward next. And Claude has made some recommendations because JCK and I were a little split on what's the best path for the next step. Anything to add, Jenny?
No, this has been really exciting. It's been fun. There's going to be a lot of editing that's involved in this because there's a lot more than what you see. But again, this isn't about a podcast. This is about taking a manual process today and leveraging AI to help you co-create a way to do it better. So what we've done so far is first step is making the existing process seen, right? So Claude helped us be able to document. It started with a workflow, and then it was like, we should probably just talk this out. And so Julia talked out the process from start to end. And then we went back and forth with Claude in order to fill in some of the gaps because this is a really critical part. You can't automate what you can't see. And so we have to make all of the things that are unseen seen in that first part. So now we've got this mapped. And like Julia said, we've got a couple things that Claude is recommending that we do. The first part is there's some quick calls. So hashtag rules, define them once, done forever. And so so I said, do some research. What are the best number of hashtags to use for a podcast? Do we need hashtags on all of the platforms? So hashtags, do some research. What are the best number of hashtags to use for a podcast? Do we need hashtags on all of the platforms? Just LinkedIn? We don't want to go with our gut, but genuinely best practices with the Jenny handoff structure. I said ideally Jenny is going to create a project in her own Claude, so Julia's Claude will hand off to Jenny's Claude. AI tool lanes. We are open to doing everything in Claude if Claude is the right place for it, ? Did I miss anything of that?
I don't think so. Is Claude connected to Canva?
It can, yeah.
Okay. So I do have a Canva Pro account
Okay. So I said thumbnail process. Should we try to do this all in Claude to make Julia's life easier? And then I said for SEO and AEO, do research on what good looks like so the content system can produce it consistently. Also make sure to research best practices as they evolve so we aren't stuck in the past.
And I'm okay waiting on the other things. Analytics, archives.
She's researching. Clenny or Clulia. What do you call your Claude?
I haven't named Claude yet.
I jokingly call Claude Clenny. So LinkedIn's own recommendation is 3 to 5 per post, and hashtags remove the following, so they function more like SEO keywords for search optimization than discovery tools. Okay, 3 to 4 hashtag sets for different content types and rotating them. 3 hashtags per post, end of post only. 1 show level branding tag each time. 2 episode specific tags.
I feel like the tags are very HR focused, and I'd like them to be a little more general. The suggested ones.
To broaden out from HR talent.
Not that we don't love HR and TA, but I would like it to be a little broader. I did really like the follow the friction in today's post and learning out loud. We do that a lot. Or AI, something AI related, since we've been doing so much around AI, and I think we're so excited by it, we'll probably continue to do so. Not always, but we might be looking at how can you apply AI to your daily work.
Claude produces a thumbnail brief in every episode, recommended time frame stamp from the transcript before Gemini is ever needed for simple moments, the exact text overlay, the keyword to highlight, and Canva instructions based on your defined template. Julia opens Canva, template's already there, brief is already written, and she executes, decisions are made. I'm game with that.
And I wonder, ask the question, if I've got either like Gemini in browser or Canva in browser, I'm assuming it could potentially do that work. So we were talking about hashtags and not wanting to be so HR or TA focused, although obviously we've both spent much of our careers focused in this space, right? So we will have that lens, but we do want to attract a broader audience. So we can have Claude in the browser to help kind of do some of this automagically. One of my favorite words.
Automagically, I love that. Okay, so this looks good, Julia.
Yep.
And essentially, this is what has to happen in the primary, and this is what happens in the secondary. Whoever generates the first ends up handing off to the second, and the project has to be able to pick up, either to do it all or to pick up from the handoff, right? I think that's a good idea. 15 sections. Place this into your Claude Project Instructions, and it governs each session from there. All right, guys, this is exciting. All that work, and now we've got our Claude Project Instructions. So as a reminder, in Claude, you can upload files, but you can also give instructions, right? This is how, if you think about AI, when you give it a specific task, you have to give specific, clear instructions of what that task entails. We've been working throughout these episodes to help construct what those instructions should be. And now we have our first version of those instructions. Right, so what you see here is, this is an MDR markdown file, and it says paste this once into your Claude Project Instructions, does not change episode to episode, update it when the show evolves, the process changes, or a new pattern is worth codifying. So it's giving us recommendations on like how to use this essentially. So then it's starting with who you're working with.
Before you go through, what I am seeing is at the bottom of the left screen, one thing this document assumes that doesn't exist yet, the locked Canva template. Everything else is operational today, but I have one prereq task before this flow will run cleanly.
And technically, Claude can help us build that exact thing. So, which makes it great because again, like you don't have to. The thing I need you to remember about AI is you don't have to have the perfect blueprint. You just have to have some sort of idea of what good looks like. And then you can ask the AI for help with it, right? So in this situation, we may not have had crystallized that like we needed the Canva template, but it's helping us to understand where there's a gap, right? Or where there's a build that's still needed. So we have who you're working with. You are the production assistant and chief of staff for The Missing Manual, a podcast hosted by Julia and Jenny. Your job has two modes. As a production assistant, to turn Riverside transcripts into a complete publish-ready episode package every single time. No missing sections, no voice drift, no AI tells. As a chief of staff, to help Julia and Jenny think through decisions, not just execute tasks. Track what has been built, ask the question that hasn't been asked when it matters, and keep the operational weight off of the host so that they can focus on the work that they can do. And so then we have a little bit about the show. Yep. A
little about each of us.
Our combined show voice. Which
we did an earlier episode on, so you can watch that episode. We'll put, if we remember, a link in the comments.
I love that so much. Does this leave the reader or listener clearer and more capable than they were a minute ago? And did they feel met along the way? If either answer is no, revise before delivering. Yes. Voice rules. Okay. Yep.
SEO and AEO, really important. The hashtags.
I love it.
All the sections we talked about.
Yep.
All the posts, thumbnails, the bane of my existence.
So this is really close, but Julia and I are going to be building these projects in our respective Claude accounts. I will be able to help with the operations. In that situation, I may be handing off to Julia versus her handing off to me. This is little and nuanced, but it's important to capture. Cool.
Okay. Well, I think this is a great stopping point. As everyone can see, we've got a really comprehensive document here, which we're going to continue to go back and forth a bit as we build. I think we can schedule an episode soon on building out our project and maybe some of the steps we take there, and or as we try and operationalize this and push the first one or two through, we can do some videos of that to show where it's working, if we run into any hiccups, and how we work through when they happen.
Absolutely. And what I'm about to do, because we're getting to a natural pause here, right? This is where I want you to start thinking about this. When I get to a natural pause, I need to ask for, what is it, Julia? What do I ask for?
A handoff document.
A handoff document. So what we're doing in this situation is we are going to ask Claude to update the existing handoff document, right? I have a puppy on my lap. Hi, Jimmy. But we're going to ask for Claude to update that existing handoff document so that when we continue this work, everything we've done to now and any open questions or any open pieces are all documented for us. This is a really, really, really important piece. It's not that pretty or whatever, but it's a really, really important aspect about getting this AI stuff right.
Yeah, I was just having a conversation with my hairstylist about AI and some of what we're doing, and he was talking about his frustrations using it for Dungeons and Dragons, and I told him all about handoff documents. So I'm gonna, as JCK likes to say, right, you build one, you show one, and you teach one. And so I am going to
one. Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to show him and teach him at some point soon to help him with his Dungeons and Dragons. So while we're showing you how to do all of this with our podcast, it could be something like a Dungeons and Dragons campaign that you could build or tackle some issue that you have at work. It can work in a wide variety of scenarios.
Yes.
So absolutely. The handoff document is being created. Thank you for going on this journey with us as we learn out loud. I'm Julia. That's JCK. And please make sure that you like and subscribe and share. If you think this content is great or you have something you want to see or for us to work through, please reach out to one of us or leave it in the comments. This is the Missing Manual.
Until next
Bye.
time.